Hello, everyone. This is Jamaica with Jamaica Life. I'll just wait a few minutes for everybody to get in. This is a pop up. I just felt like going live tonight, so that's what I did. Let's see if I can find myself. Here we are. Can you see me? I can see you. No. This thing is still trying to connect. Okay, there I am. Wonderful. So I'll just wait for a few people to show up. Today is going to be planting of some more fall crops. I got quite a few things going. I have some cabbage, bok choy. I have to turn the light off, so I have to go from memory. I have some cauliflower and some Swiss chard and some collard greens in there. I know it's Sunday, so maybe I'm being here by myself, but that's okay. I can talk to myself. I do it on camera anyway. So I have all of the seeds that I wanted to plant for fall in here. And I'm just gonna go through and find some of the ones. Example, I planted some cabbage that was quite old and it didn't come up. It didn't come up as well as I wanted it to. So I'm gonna replant it. So I have to find the cabbage. I planted all of the Asian cabbage, and the Asian cabbage did good, but the American regular cabbage did not. So I have two of them here that are newer. This one is Tete Nora, which is a purple cabbage, and then I have the Soprano Giant. They're both Baker Creek seeds, so oh well, I'm gonna use those. And let me move this thing out the way. It's in my way right now. I'm trying to see if I could find those older seeds that didn't germinate well. They're in these smaller packets. I may have taken them out because I knew that they were old. So I knew that the germination rate went down every year. So I didn't expect much from them, but I expected more than I got. So I have to do it again. That's the thing about planting early. When you plant your seeds early, you have time to recover. If something doesn't germinate well, you just go back and plant again. Those are turnip seeds. So I guess I'll just plant these for now. The Singapore Giant and the Tete Nor. Now, how are you GR8ness? Greatness. Got it. That's cool. So what I do, when most of the time, I just put them in a pot, right? Hello, Urban Gardening Chronicles. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. It's a late night planting. And I had a couple of cabbage that didn't come up. So I'm planting some more cabbage because I am not going to be without cabbage. That's one of the things, one of the brassicas that can survive in the winter. All I did this winter was cover it with a piece of plastic when we had a freeze. It could take a chill. It can definitely take a chill. And these two, shoot, this little boy looked like he in the middle of the snow. So I'm just happy to have the opportunity to continue planting. Apparently I planted this before. So these seeds are not huge. They're about the size of, wow, they're bigger than a mustard seed. Smaller than a tomato seed. So take that for what it's worth. I have to augment this soil. This soil, or this is used soil, is basically spent. I had, I think, beets in here, and I went ahead and got it. So what I do with my soil is I augment it. Initially, I was gonna put some alfalfa and some alfalfa or some other organic. But I recommend that you just go ahead and use some bone meal and blood meal. Those two always work, always. Urban, I'm gonna drop more cabbage and bok choy tomorrow. Today I washed more herbs and they're in the dehydrator. Oh, okay. I saw the replay when you were talking about the herbs. I have some herbs. I need to replant. What do I need to replant? Sage, I think. And I think I want to plant another time, so I might do that. So I just put a little bit of this bone meal in here. Hello, GT Junior. How you doing? Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Hit the like button. G Mama Grows Hard in the Garden. How you doing? Ira Handwork. How you doing? J3GS. How you doing? Welcome. Thank you for supporting me. So I put some bone meal in here because this soil is used soil. And the next thing I'm going to go ahead and get is some blood meal. Don't put too much of this stuff in there because it smells bad. Let me see. Is everybody saying hi to each other? Mike's Chaotic Gardening. How you doing? Hilltop Rooted. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I put out a video, Mr. Barrock. I think it's about maybe 5 days ago. He's still there. He was saying hi to you. I put a picture on it. So I just put some blood meal on here, right? And that's all I'm gonna put in there. Blood meal and bone meal. Do not put a lot of that blood meal on there because it smells. It's blood. That's what it is. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna, put it in. Another thing with the bone meal, it's silt level, and it'll pop up. It'll go into your nostrils. So be careful when you're putting it in the soil because it's a powder. It's a white powder. The same thing with the blood meal. The blood meal is little more dense, but that bone meal, man, that stuff, you can inhale it, and that's not good for you. You don't want to inhale no animal bones because that's what it is. Okay, so I have some more over here, and I'm just gonna work this in. I'm just getting some of this soil from outside. It's from outside, so I hope I didn't bring any little varmints in here. If you see me jump up and run away, you know I found something. Hilltop Rooted says, tell him I said hey, and I missed the sound of his voice. Shoot, I don't miss that. You talking about that rooster? You hear him? He's on a short. He definitely, uses his lungs. Him and his sons. He doesn't like his sons. He was beating them up the other day. So I'm mixing this stuff in, right? Then I take my hand and I put 2 lines in it. Here goes the alfalfa pellets. I soaked them in water, but I decided that I didn't want to use them, but apparently I didn't get them all out. I put super juice in my garden and I could still smell it. Mike's K at the garden say that I took a shower. You know what I have out there that I haven't used yet? You remember those snails I collected months ago? They're still in that bucket, and I took the lid off. I didn't take the lid off. I had a thing on top of it. 2 barriers on top of that bad boy. 2. And I took the bucket that was on top of it off, and do you know I could smell them? So when I go and make my fertilizer out of those, the remains of whatever those snails had, man, I have to put a mask on because that stuff is rotten. Serena Norrell, how are you doing? How you doing? I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, please forgive me. I'm looking through, making sure. So this is what I did. I put hills on there. You see that? And those 2, this line is one line and this line is another line. That's how I do it. That's how I get them densely packed. And sometimes I don't take them out of here. I let them grow in here until I put them out in the yard. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that with the ones that I planted earlier because they're getting big. They're getting huge. So I probably have to pot those in cups, separate cups. We'll see. We will see. It's definitely time to plant our fall crops. So I learned my lesson years ago, or a year ago, I should say, about planting the whole thing. Sometimes I put these seeds on a plate And sometimes I put them in my hand. Now this little bit right here, that's about 15, 20 seeds. Way more than I probably need to put in here. So I'm gonna spread them out and I can see them dropping. And these will germinate. These seeds are from this year. They're not old seeds, and they're Baker Creek. Baker Creek normally has a good germination rate, in my opinion. Actually, most of the seeds that I buy from any supplier, I haven't had any trouble. Let me see. I did have one, but that was a fruit tree, so that's different. Most of the time when you buy seeds, I don't discriminate. I'll go to the Dollar Tree, I'll go to Baker Creek, I will go to Etsy, I'll go anywhere and get my seed. I have not found any big difference in them. Let me see if anybody's saying anything. Temps tomorrow will be reach 100. Yeah, if you're in Texas, but that's normal. These are not going outside till next month. They're not. They're indoor plants. They're indoor plants until it cools down. So I put all of those right here. So now we're gonna go on this side right here. I'm gonna pour some in my hand. I learned my lesson about pouring them directly into the pot. You can over pour and waste a bunch of seeds. They gave me quite a few. There's about at least 150 to about 50 seeds in here. And this is the Tete Noir, right? The red one. I want to plant some green acre and a red acre cabbage, but I didn't bring the seeds over here. They're probably on this other side where the seedlings are. And I'm not going to get up and get them. All right, so we got those in, right? So now I have to cover it up. And all I do is, let me get some more from over here. Get some, and I just blur the line. You don't want to bury these deep. They won't be able to break through the soil. I'm just covering them lightly. Just enough. And if I have any sticks, I always take them out. It's disappointing when I plant something and that is Ness, how are you doing? Ira Handwork says, I love red acre cabbage and Georgia collards. I have some Georgia collards over there. And I have some collard trees over there. That's what I really want. Collard trees, because they're perennials. And they're pretty. They look like something out of, it looks like some scenery out of Africa. It's beautiful. So I have these in. I am going to go and get some green acre cabbage and red acre cabbage. I was saying that I find it. Oh, another thing I need to do. You know what I forget? Always to market. Did y'all see my short today? I have, what are those papaya trees out there? I didn't know what it was. I kept on saying, I don't know what this is. I'm going to look it up. And then I did the Google thing and it's like papaya trees. I said, oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you, God. You know how long ago I put those seeds out there? I was eating a papaya and I said, you know what? I wonder if this will grow. So I took all of the seeds out of there and put it in one of these. And apparently 10 of them came up. Maybe more because I haven't been taking care of that thing. So there's another thing I want to introduce y'all to. And this is, we call it in the military a grease pencil. This is how we used to, when we were shipping stuff, we used to mark the vehicles and make sure that we got everything numbered. We used a grease pencil, black ones, just like this one. But I am going to use it for my tags. This is like a crayon. It will not wash off and it won't smudge easy. That is why I like it. And I'm, because I'm getting quite tired of not knowing what I planted. So I'm going to put cabbage, tete, TT. Sound like a nickname. And then I'm going to put cabbage Singapore. So I'll know. And because this thing is hard to erase, I put a double A. I don't know what's wrong tonight. I'll be back in the pet chat in just a minute. Cabbage, Singapore. No, it's Sapporo. How do you say it? Sapporo giant. Right there. GT Junior had a video. And I saw your video about the half price seeds. I was like, man, most of the seeds that you had on your video, I bought for full price. I was like, man, I feel like I got ripped off. I wish I could have got some of those seeds. But it's all right. I have some. I just paid full price though for it. And you know, Baker Creek is not the most inexpensive. They're not the most expensive either. So I got them in here and I got them marked. Right? So that's it for our cabbage. What else do I have in here? Oh, I do have some herbs in here. Let me take this and put this to the side. I'm going to water this in. I got both of these things from Dollar Tree, the little tray. So this, of course, y'all know that's from Dollar Tree, right? And this little tray is in the food department. It's a serving tray. And guess what fits on here perfectly? This. So I don't have water running all over the place. Just a thought. So I have another one over here. I don't have as much soil in this one. Let me see if I have any more. Oh, I have some soil here. Okay. And I did not augment this. Smell it. No, I didn't. Okay, so we're gonna put this to the side because we've already used these in it. I gotta be careful not to lose any of my seeds. I do not like using these if I have a moisture problem, but I also do not like losing my seeds. And these things are all loosey-goosey in here. So what I do is once I open the seed packet, I'll put it into either a paper bag, which I do not have here, or I'll put it into one of these. I just use whatever I have, and I pour my seeds in here so I don't lose them, right? Seal it, and I put them back into their bag. That way I don't have to worry about them falling out. Let's see if I missed anything. Temps tomorrow, Ira handwork, temps tomorrow will be 100. Netta's Nest, salutations all. Serena Norell, hi cousin. Let me see. G Mama grows hard in the garden. I just I just sowed some Savoy cabbage. I need to find a red cabbage I like. I like the red acre cabbage. That it's good. I don't know about this one. This is the first time I'm planting this one. This one looks big and green and beautiful, so that's why I got that one. But I haven't eaten this one. I did eat the red acre cabbage, and that basically is the same as green acre cabbage, except it's red. Just saying. Let me see if I missed anything. And the green acre cabbage, well, you want it red. They don't sell red acre cabbage at the Dollar Tree. And some of the Dollar Trees still have seeds because people aren't buying them anymore. Let's see. Everyday life an OCD-ish chick. Hi, welcome. Let me see if I missed anything. Savoy cabbage. I've never had Savoy cabbage. Let's see. Everyday life of the OCD-ish chick says, hello, Jamaica in the chat. Ira Handwork said, years ago before moving to Georgia, I lived in Kansas and visited Baker Creek in Missouri. Great place. And the cafe gives away the best brownies. Really? Wow. I lived in Kansas for a while. I was at Fort Riley. It's in between Manhattan, Kansas, and Junction City. G Mama Grows says hello to Nikki. Serena Noel is saying, if you're wondering about the cousin greetings, what is it? The cousin greetings, scientists have proven that we all have the same mitochondrial DNA of one female ancestor and acts. Of course, I agree with you completely. We all come from this. We're all different, but we're all the same. All of us. So I'm not going to dispute that at all because I'm a believer. So Mike K at a garden says, hello, OCD-ish. Sifting some soil, said Hayes, Jamaica in the chat. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? Okay, everybody's just saying hello to each other. So let me look through and see if I find something else. Let me put my grease pencil back in my box. All right. There is something else that I wanted to, and I got dirt on my table anyway. Ain't that something? There is something else that I wanted to plant. Oh, I got my herbs here. So I have some, no, I don't want oregano. I have chives. I don't really want chives. Parsley and do good for me. Dill, cilantro, no. Rosemary, I just bought some rosemary. I bought a seedling or a plant, and it was about, I think it was $5 to $6. No, it was about $6. But I bought it because it looked good. And I wanted rosemary. This one, I haven't had any luck with this. They say that you can still grow beans. And I have some beans from, I'm gonna plant these. That's what I'm gonna plant. I have some beans from, guess who? If anybody ever bought anything from her or them, that's what their packets look like. And these packets have been around a while. The packets are turning dusty. This is from Homestead Heart. We're gonna plant these right here, right now. Time's up. I still got time. It's not gonna get cold here. Some people say that it's gonna get cold at the beginning of December. She knows who she is, Mona. I don't think it's gonna get cold till the end of the year. I don't pay attention to the Farmer's Almanac at all. Every year is different. Let me see. Let me see. Ira handwork. I grow Copenhagen market cabbage. I also have, what is it? Serrated new, what is it? I also have, I can't see. Serrated new crops, PF squash, and cooks as spring plants, all deceased. I don't get it. Oh, you sowed new crops. Okay. Yeah, squash. I just planted some squash, but these are beans. These are those striped beans. I got too many in my hand. I'm always overdoing stuff. I got way too many in my hand. Look at that. That's way too many. That's way too many. Beans last forever. So I'm saying it does. I only need about 10. I'm going to plant about 10 or 12 striped beans. I heard that striped beans, I'll put it in the pack after. And these are jade bush beans. Has anybody ever planted jade bush beans? I planted, what was it, contender? Yeah, the rabbits ate it. I was so mad. They ate it to nothing. They also ate 2 of my moringa recently. So we're putting we're putting the striped beans in here. And I'm just putting them in so I could see them. These jokers are going to stay in here till I put them out in the yard. And beans, they grow quick. Food farmer, permaculture, food forest, permaculture. How you doing? All right. There we go. Yeah, the rabbits ate 2 of my moringa trees. Maybe they'll come back. I hear they're very prolific and they can come back on you. I hope because they ate them down. They ate all the leaves off. Initially, I thought I was blaming a person. Forgive me, it wasn't him. It was the rabbits. Because the reason why I know it's the rabbits is because they were this long yesterday and today they're this long and we haven't cut the lawn again. You get mad at people talking, no respect. Mowed down all of my stuff. No, it was the rabbits. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm gonna put 14 in here. And when they come up or when they get to the size that I want, where I think that they're safe enough to survive on their own, and these are striped beans. I got a couple more in my hand. I'm taking them directly out of this and putting them in the ground. Well, no, that's not true. I'm going to take this and I take the plants and I take them in and out of the house. First, I'll put them in a shady area for about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Because it's hot out there. They'll start wilting. I'll bring it back in the house. Then every day I'll increase it until finally I'll put them out there one night and just leave them out there. In the shade, of course. So I'm covering this up. And these are strike green beans. Succession planting. That's exactly what I'm doing. Because the rabbits ate my beans. I went out there one day. You know, when you look at stuff in your garden, let me show you something. So you look at stuff in your garden, right? And you say, I'm going to wait one more day. One more day. And guess what? Stuff starts eating your crops. I'm going to give this to the chickens. I don't think I'm going to eat this. I'm not sure if it was a rabbit or we have rats around here. So it could be that. And they have, you know, they have eaten it more than once. See that? The wildlife is hungry. And if they find out that you have, especially sweet stuff like this is the honeydew. Especially sweet stuff like this, they will eat it. They will eat it. You don't want to eat behind that vermin. If it was a rabbit, I think I could get over it, but I'm not sure. That doesn't look like a rabbit damage. It doesn't. So let me put this. We put the thing in here. Tampa Creek Homestead, how you doing? So we just planted striped green beans. I'm just gonna put striped beans because I am tired of not knowing what I have. Fed up with myself. All right, so I'm gonna put these back in here. Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna take the striped beans out. I'm gonna take the tete cabbage, and I'm gonna take this single Sephora giant out. Once I plant them, I put them to the side. I don't put them back in here because this is the stuff that I still have to plant. This is all the stuff that I want to plant, and I'm slowly getting it done. There is no rule that say you have to, well, unless you're running out of time. There's no rules, especially down south in Texas. I'm in Central Texas in Zone 9A. There's no rules really for me because it doesn't really get cold here. We get cold snaps. And when we get a cold snaps, I take a tarp or I take a piece of plastic and I put it over my brassicas. And last year, they were just fine. Just fine. Nothing happened to them. It also, and I did that in Kansas also. As a matter of fact, in Kansas, it didn't, I didn't even cover it. I had cabbage out there in the wintertime. It seemed to like it, so. All right, let's go to the chat, everybody. Laugh out loud. It busted. No, it didn't. It got yammed up. That's a tooth mark. Look at that. That ain't busted. Something is eating it. Let's see. Sifting some sauce at Hello to Tampa. Everyday life for OCD-ish chickens is saying hello. Let's see. Gigra. It says awareness the barbecue. Tampa. Tampa Creek Hunters hated everybody. I'm supposed to be asleep, but stopping by. Ira says, I had issues with rabbits eating beans. I thought hot peppers would help, so I sprinkled that's what I should do. Hot pepper, and next day I found a rabbit enjoying the new spice food even more. Never mind. My Renaissance grandma, how you doing? She says hello to everybody. LP Dimension says hello to everybody. So let's see what else I have in here. Since we have our striped beans planted, because it's, you know, I got to get these beans in. If I'm going to plant beans, I don't have that much time for beans because it's going to get a little cool around here. And it's not going to frost over. It's not going to do it. I have faith. Now watch it happen. Just because I said it isn't going to happen. Texas experienced a cold spell. So I have turnip seeds here. Turnips are direct sow. You can tell I used these. These were 10 cents a pack because they got wet at the supermarket and they wanted to get rid of them. So I have a whole bunch of these left. That's going to be a direct sow. Spinach. Spinach has to be in the cold. You have to put spinach seeds, and I have to put these in the refrigerator with a little bit of water. Keep them damp for about, I say about 30 days, and then I'll plant them so that they'll blossom. Otherwise, you won't see your spinach. Spinach will not show up for you. It has to experience cold. I got some leeks here. Sweet peppers, I don't know why I have that in here. Kale, I need to replant some kale. I have Laciano kale, and then I have dwarf blue curly kale. These two are going to get planted soon. Those are not going to be direct sold. The only thing so far that I went over that's going to be direct sold is going to be the turnips. Turnips are, today they talked about turnip crop. Turnips can be considered a cover crop. Now, I don't necessarily like the turnip root. That's not why I grow it. I grow it for the leaves. I like turnip greens more than anything. That's why I grow it. Then I have the black magic kale. It's another one that's a tough plant. Kale will stay around for 2 years. Then I'll go to seed on you. Let me see if I'm... God's desire for me, how are you doing? Then I have some carrots. I did not grow any carrots, but that one needs to be planted soon. Let me put that in the front. Well, if I put it in the front, then I'll go over it again. You can succession plant your cucumbers. I might put some of those directly in the ground because cucumbers will grow. You could direct sow these. Let me put these right here. So I'll put them in the ground tomorrow. Here's another cucumber. So I have 4 of them. They're all Dollar Tree seeds because I don't care. I got Market More. They're all open too. Muncher. What is this? National Pickling and Straight A. They're all open. I already planted these once, and these are direct sow. The cucumbers are dying out on me, so I can go ahead and put these in the ground. They'll come up just like that squash is coming up. What is this? Napa cabbage. I didn't know I had these. I got to plant these, definitely. Those are not direct sows, but these are. These are sugar beets. So, a lot of people are using, you know how you use stevia? Well, this is almost the same thing. Sugar beets, people render this down and it makes sugar. Sugar beets. It's a substitute for cane sugar. So I'm going to plant these. Direct sow. Albino beets. I'll plant those. I haven't had those yet. I like beets. I've always liked beets. Then I have Chinese broccoli. I bought this because my mom likes this stuff. She calls it broccoli rabe. I don't know if it's the same, but when I wrote broccoli rabe, this is what came up. Is this thing in a packet? It doesn't feel like it. It is in a packet, but what is this? Wait a minute. Do I have seeds upon seeds? Wortham broccoli. I have 2 different broccolis in here. I got to plant this broccoli. Plus, I have broccoli that I harvested from this spring that went to seed. I didn't let that joker go. Said I'm gonna get something from you. I got more carrots here. I'm just gonna throw the carrots out. Let them do. Now it's gonna be hard for the carrots to germinate in this clay soil, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the spade fork and I'm gonna loosen the soil up. I'm not gonna touch it, and I'm just gonna throw the seeds down, and I'm never gonna walk on that area. Hopefully that's good enough for it to make its way through. I got a whole bunch of carrots. And I have some parsnips. Do you know Jamaica has never had a parsnip? Not in my life. And I want one because I hear they're good. So I'm going to plant those. Then rutabaga, another plant that I've never had. And then this is just some Romanesco cabbage. And here's some of the broccoli seeds. I told you about those packets. These are some of the broccoli seeds that I harvested from the ones that went to seed this spring. What is this? Sage. This is my favorite herb. One of them, sage. I like it when I candy something, I put sage in it. Lemon balm. I have not gotten this to grow. I mean, I keep trying. See? I keep trying and it ain't working for me. I'm gonna keep on trying. I'm gonna have to order some new seeds because I'm running out, but it's not germinating for me. What is this? Arugula? Arugula is an ugly plant, but I like arugula. And it's supposed to be better for you than the other stuff. Then I have some Brussels sprouts. Do you know Brussels sprouts? Brussels sprouts, if you get them to grow, they're still out there. I planted some Brussels sprouts this spring. The bugs have attacked it. The rabbits have eaten it. Do you know it's still out there growing? Brussels sprouts. And when I go out there to that, the raggedy garden that I always talk about, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna break that thing in half. I'm gonna try to get whatever sweet potatoes is out of there, and I'm gonna get rid of most of that side is gonna be gone because it's unmanageable. It's unruly out there, and that's where the snakes were, not snake, plural, two. One I disposed of, and the other one got away. So I'm just gonna leave the tomatoes out there. I'm gonna leave the Brussels sprouts out there, and what else do I have out there that I'm gonna keep? I think that's it. Cushaw. What is this right here? Gray zucchini. That has never grown for me. Then I have a bunch of herbs here that I've already went over. Oregano, chives, parsley, dill, cilantro, and rosemary. All different brands. So we'll see. These are all of the things that I'm going to put to the side. This is the stuff that I need to plant tomorrow. And these are already in. All I'm going to do is water those in, put them under. It's going to be over there on the grow station. Now, there have been people ask me about that grow station. And I answered one lady, I use shop lights. Yes. They're about $30 and they work. So, it's not hard to do. I got the 4-foot one and I got the stand from Wally World. Amazing in Wally World. The shop lights are from Amazing, and the stand is from Wally World, and it's working just fine for me. And basically, that's how I planted all of this stuff out here, all of it. Because I didn't buy the only seedling that I bought this year, with the exception of trees, was that rosemary plant that I showed you guys the other day. The rest of that stuff is from seed. Micro Farmer, how you doing? Let me see if I missed anything. All right. Ira handwork. Love turnip greens with cornbread dumplings. At Georgia, yeah, I love turnip greens with some cornbread. Woo! Oh man. And some people don't eat pork. You can I try not to eat pork. I started eating turkey legs. I started using turkey legs instead of what was it that I used to use? I'm looking at it in my mind. The swine. The smoked hocks. Yeah. Instead of using that, I use the turkey legs. And turkey legs sometimes tastes better, depending on who does it. Sifting some soil is saying, hey LP, the LP dimension. I know someone who used to grow turnips for their sheep. Love them. What I started eating them when I was stationed at Fort Knox. My one of my friends that lived in Radcliffe, her father was a farmer, and she apparently still knew some people out there in the sticks. I don't think they were in Radcliffe. She took me out there one time, but I can't remember the name of the town. And she went out to the field, and the farmer did not want the greens. He wanted the turnips, so he's going to toss them. And she went out there with garbage bags. We were washing turnips forever. But that is how I got turned on the turnips in Kentucky. Woo! Talking about some barbecues. I was so big in Kentucky. I'm surprised they didn't throw me out of the military. Let's see. Sifting some soil says hello. I know someone who used to grow turnip for their sheep. LP, the LP dimension. Oh, interesting. God's desire for me is just saying hello to everybody. Serena Norella saying hi. Food Forest Permaculture says great live stream, Jamaica. Must say good night, folks. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you didn't leave already. I just thank you for being here. A micro farmer is saying hello, and then he says hello to all. Mice Cat and Garden says hello to Micro. Micro Farmer says don't forget to hit the like button. Doesn't cost you nothing, y'all. Micro, I've been watching you with those dinners. You could cook, man. You made some kind of, what did you get? Some sausage, $20 meals or $10 meals? What's $20 meals? I forget. He got some sausage, some eggs from his chickens. Then he pulled out, what did you get there? That is not a part of the challenge. You cannot use that. I was tallying up your stuff. I was like, no, you can't use that. You can't use that. Because he pulled out something from your refrigerator. And I was like, wait a minute. That didn't come from the supermarket. Well, it did, not on that day. I know I'm petty. All right, so Serena Norella saying hi. Mike's Cade and Garden saying hey. Micro is saying hello. Let's see. Ham hocks, yeah. Ham hocks are not good for you, but man. But if you use a smoked turkey leg or smoked turkey, sometimes it's better. It's not going to have the oil or the fat content because so I think it's 9 calories for fat, and it's not gonna be as greasy, and and the fat from the animal keeps you fuller longer. If you don't know that, it's harder for your body to digest fat. That's why you become satiated when you eat it. Although pork is bad for you, so they say. My brother tells me not to eat it all the time, but I still like bacon every now and then. Micro said, yes, I don't eat pork, but if I cook just for content, I feed it to my dogs. Oh, okay. Intellectual Blue says, hello, I really enjoy your videos. Thank you. So there's a lot of us on here that do a lot of things. Micro Farmer says, this is pretty, so Blitz, that is pretty, so Blitz in the video told me to set the rules. I told her I do a live and talk about shoot. You know, when you did the thing about the sausage, Hillshire Farm, that is one of the few beef sausages that's casing is not pork. Because if you buy it from the supermarket and it says beef sausage, turn it around and look to see what the casing is made of. Because a lot of times it's false advertising and the casing will be pork. So be careful if you don't eat pork. Because I know it's against some people's religion. I know my brother he doesn't eat pork, and he'll be very upset if he found out he eats pork. He doesn't deal with pork at all. As a matter of fact, I think his girlfriend can't even wear lipstick. Or he doesn't condone it. I'm not gonna say he makes her do it. So I have my cucumbers here for tomorrow. Is there anything that you all are planting for fall? I think I don't know if I forgot anything. I looked through my seed calendar and I got a lot of seeds. But I keep the typical stuff. Hilltop Rooting says, my garden is still in a state of chaos and I am going to start in a week or so. Mine is too. You are not alone. And the season, it's like you're fighting with the heat. At least here in Texas we are. And you're fighting with the weeds, and you're fighting with the bugs, and then you're fighting with the wildlife. And it's so hard because it's just watering in and of itself take a long time. But when you find stuff like this, you get a little discouraged. You're like, all of that time I was, I've been pampering this thing, and then something just goes and takes a bite out of it. So, but you just keep on going, because if you plant enough, like that's why I planted so densely out there, because I got tired of spacing it out, and then it leaves more room for the weeds. And then you have to weed all the time, like I have to do on the other side. Micro Farmer says squash, acorn squash. Okay, and butternut. Did I plant any more butternut squash? Because I like butternut. Butternut stores well. Acorn squash also. And my pumpkins never made it. I never saw a pumpkin. This is the 3rd time I planted pumpkins. Nothing. Squash though makes it. My cushaw is doing well. My watermelons were doing well until the wildlife found out that it was sweet. So that, and then my sweet potatoes, I had to cut them back. Y'all see the video soon. The sweet potatoes are doing well. The okra is doing well. Cucumbers is doing well. I did get a couple of honeydew melons. It's just one of the three that I harvested. My eggplant is doing well. Tomatoes are doing well. So I have so many things to be grateful for. But I think it's because I mixed everything in. I did it, and I purposely did it that way because I felt like if I did that, the bug pressure would be lower, and I was right. Because over there in the organized weedy garden, the shameful garden, the bugs, the rabbits, and all kind of stuff is over there. Over here, where everything's mixed in, not as many problems. I still have animals that are attacking my fruit, but as far as the bug pressure, it's not as bad. And the weeding is almost none over here. Over there, oh, full of weeds. Full of weeds. Let's see. So micro, it says acorn, squash, and butternut. Micro farmer says the wildlife stole most of my fruit off my trees. I'm sorry. Sifting some soil. And that's what gets me. Like last year, I think it was, I had my Barbados cherries out there in the middle of the yard, and they were all red. I could see the little red from the window, right? And I said, I'm just going to wait one more day. Do you know all the birds ate them? The next day, there were none of them on there. Maybe one. Maybe. Ira Handwork says, we have the same heat like you, so I can relate. Also, bad issues with fire ants. Oh, yeah. In sandy soil, my okra loves the heat. My okra is doing well. Okra does well in clay soil also. Fire ants like okra. And there are people who are saying that that if you let the ants get onto your plants, they basically run off all the ladybugs. Well, I don't see any ladybugs out there. And ants are pollinators also. They're moving from flower to flower. Apparently, they like okra flowers. And they're pollinating. Ants, bugs in general will pollinate, to include ants. So I just let them go. I said, I can't wait. I don't have an aphid problem, thank God. I can't wait for the ladybugs to show up because there's not enough of them here. However, there are those darn Japanese beetles that have been showing up. And I know the difference. They have an M on their head. They look different when you look at them. But the ants have been the ants and the bees have been the insects that have been pollinating for me. Let's see. Wildlife got all my apples over a month. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Micro, yes, LP. My apples be gotten what? Yes, LP. My apple be gotten to, and some pears and plums. My apple tree passed away. I think it's gone. There's two of them. The jokers are not cheap, so I'm real upset about it. I don't know if I have the receipt. I should go look for it, see if I could see if I could return it. The stick that it is. Hilltop Brutus says they are ruthless. Yeah, the animals. Well, they're just trying to stay alive. They're just trying to stay alive. And they said, wow. They probably watched me when I was standing out there watering, saying, yeah, it's not juicy enough right now. Give it one more day. And then they come and eat it. Let's see. That's a bummer. LP said that's a bummer, microfarmer. LP says aphids are crazy in my garden this year. What I saw over there, I didn't see any aphids, but I saw some white flies over there near my figs. Not on this one where the big ones are. Where the mixed garden is, no problem. But over there where it's more organized, problems. And plus my neighbor has a garden, so maybe the white flies are coming in from over there. I'm not sure. Because it's only on that side. Aphids are crazy in my garden this year. Ira Handwork, I don't mind ants, but the fire ants bite. Yeah, they do. They got me too. But I just leave them there. I just brush them aside. Or kill them. Excuse me. Cull them. Get rid of them, and you can feel them biting you. You just have to make sure that you don't have a million on them, because when they bite you, they pus up. That is ugly. I mean, it just bubbles up like little blisters. Microfarmer, I have lots of dragonflies this year. I haven't seen any dragonflies. Iris says, that's amazing. Fig crops on my 50-year-old tree. Wow, congratulations. Microfarmer, spell check be janking me up in the chat. It happens to me too. I'll be like, oh no, that's not the word I meant to do it. And then I try to erase it. And the person, it always happens that the person who is doing the live doesn't see that I erased it, and then they just try to read it. Let's see. Ada Adele May Homestead. How are you doing? Ira Handwork. Love how you outer weave all your plants. I really have learned from you. Thank you. LP says, very grateful we don't have fire ants here in Michigan. I didn't know about fire ants initially when I came to Texas. I thought they were like the New York ants. I had never experienced fire ants anywhere except here. This was the first place. And I saw them on my leg, and I was like, oh, some ants, because in New York they don't bite you. Man, them jokers all started biting at the same time. I had maybe 50. It felt like a million on me. That was a bad day, I tell you. LP, that's awesome. I had figs start growing for the first time this spring and then off this fall. This LP from the LP Dimension. So we've been on here. I don't know how long we've been on here. I don't know. It didn't tell me. Oh, I gotta look at this one. We've been on here for a while, almost an hour. So what else is anybody planting? Anything besides squash? Has anybody started planting their brassicas, the cabbage, broccoli, turnips, all the green stuff? That's what grows. Fall seemed to me, my fall crops or my fall garden is always prolific. Always. That's because most of the bugs and there's not as many birds, and there's less of everything that can attack your crops. Let's see. Gigra, I know the squirrels, birds, and rabbits and trying to survive, but my neighbor's cat who jumped on my 6-foot fence is just a butthole. I have dogs. I have German shepherds. I would shoot if they come in there. They ain't coming my way. Now, wait a minute. With the exception of one cat that I had to call the dog catcher for, the cat catcher for. That cat jumped on the fence where the chickens are and was reaching down slapping them, trying to scratch their eyes out. I ain't never seen a cat like that in my life. That was a barroom broiled cat. Who knows whose cat that was, but it was mean. And then when they came and got it, they were like, I didn't understand. It was stuck in the fence. It got stuck. It couldn't move. I said, why is that cat still there? Because I was fighting with the cat because one of my German shepherds was a puppy, and I was like, he or she, whatever it was, is gonna scratch his eyes out, and I'm gonna end up with a big old vet bill from this feral cat. So I kind of swatted it, right? And it must have got its foot stuck in between the fence. And I kept on looking out there, and it was just sitting there like a stalker. So I said, why is this darn cat not moving? So I called the dog catcher. And then she comes and says, how did it get like this? It's stuck. I didn't say a word. I did not say a word because I was like, the darn thing was fighting all of us. All the little chihuahua, the puppy, the German shepherd, and a grown German shepherd, and me. It climbed up the tree to go fight with them. Something's wrong with that cat. And I told them that cat got rabies. So I think, they got the catch and release thing out here. I'm getting off subject, but they have a catch and releaser out here, right? Where they spade and neuter or whatever, the wild animals, the wild feral cats. My neighbor's going to come to me and says, Jamerica, well, what did that cat that attacked you all? What did it look like? Because this guy was out there with his kid and the cat attacked them. I said, why did they bring that thing back? I told them something was wrong with that cat. Cat is terrorizing the neighborhood. I think somebody got rid of it. I haven't seen it for a while. I think somebody, I don't know, maybe the coyotes got it because we got coyotes too. Okay, let me see. All right, I'm waiting for wait. I'm waiting for September to plant greens when it's not as hot. I'm planting my greens now so I can put them in the ground in September. Hopefully it's not too hot. Sifting some soil. I've dropped some more Swiss chard yesterday. Swiss chard, man. Swiss chard. I put some Swiss chard out there. It's not growing. It's the heat has stopped it from growing, but it's still alive. Swiss chard can take cold and it can take extreme heat. I don't know what kind of plant that is. And you know, from what I could tell, bugs don't eat it. I don't know if that's a good thing though. Because the bugs ain't eating it. Maybe we should eat it. The bugs don't attack it as much as if at all. They'll eat everything else. You put your collards out there, you put your kale out there, they'll eat everything except that Swiss chard. So, maybe I need to look up what's in Swiss chard. But Swiss chard you can put it out there in the heat, you can put it out there in the cold. It might die to the ground, but it'll come right back up. It's a very good, very strong plant. Let's see, Ira, great news out LP. What does LP say? I need to drop some more Swiss chard. Swiss chard is good. I love Swiss chard. Tony Holt, how you doing? Ada, Adele, May, Homestead. I have my fall seeds planted except for my root crops. Okay. Sifting some soil says hello, Tanya. LP says hello. Micro farmer. I planted collards and dino kale fall my fall crops. Okay. I like Laciano kale, and I'll tell you why. Laciano kale is a perennial, and I don't want to plant it again. I try to plant stuff that will last forever because I get tired of dropping seed, going through all this rigmarole. If I can, if at all possible, Laciano kale does that, and them tree collards do that. That's why I want them. If I had anything else, I mean, the kale, the regular kale, and the Swiss chard, they'll last 2 years, but then they'll go away. They give you what they got, and that's it. But if you plant the Laciano kale and you plant those tree collards, you're gonna have them for a while. Swiss chard is 2 years though. I'm sure Swiss chard, because all my Swiss chard is gone. I put the new ones out there, but they're stunted. Their growth is stunted because of the heat. They'll come up once it cools off though. They're still there though. Swiss chard is high in acylic acid, but you're right, it's hardy. I don't know what that is. It's oxalic, oxalic acid. Maybe that's why the bugs don't touch it, or the bunny rabbits. LP say, I was saying all those little figs fell off. Oh, I'm sorry. I got figs on my fig tree, and you have to watch them because one day they'll be green, and then the next day they'll be purple or whatever color yours are. Mine are purple. You gotta get them off because they sneak up on you and they'll fall on the ground, and them bugs and rabbits and whatever else is out there will be so happy. Gigra, 2 weeks ago, I threw some Swiss chard. What is it? I threw in some Swiss chard, and it's coming up now. I'll thin it soon. What do you all make with Swiss chard? Saute it with some garlic, butter, salt, and pepper. You could put it in your soups. You could put it in your stews. Swiss chard is it's a little bit sharper than spinach. A little bit, but not much. Hopefully next year. Let me see. LP dimension. I think I need to up pot it. I know I need to. It probably dries out more than I've been aware. What are you talking about? Ira Hardwork, Scotchy to hear Oh, sorry to hear about that, LP, about LP's figs. LP says, I don't know a lot about oxalic acid, just that spinach has it, and it's recommended not to eat too much because it can block the absorption of calcium in the body. Okay. I give it to my chickens too. I don't eat it all, but I eat it a lot. Ada Adela May Homestead, Jamaica. I was just about to ask you if you had tree collars. I really want to grow them. I don't have, well, yes, I did. I had some. And for spring, I planted them for spring. They ate them. The bugs and the insects demolished them. I went and I had half of them in a container and half of them were in the ground. The ones in the ground were automatically knocked out. The ones in the container I spared their life for about a month, and then bugs came into the container and ate them. It was like they were drawn to them. So I'm gonna plant them in fall because I saw them in K Renee's, and I kept on asking her what was behind her, and she said those are tree collards. And I was like, oh yeah, that is something that I want to grow. The only problem I'm having is the bugs and the animals. That sounds tasty. Rochetta Monique, good evening. How's everyone doing? Let's see. LP said, so if you have any issues with osteoporosis or calcium, keep that in mind and not eating the stuff with acylic acid. So spinach and Swiss chard have that. Okay. So we've been on here for a little while, and I know some of you all just came in. Does anybody have anything else that we haven't thought about planting for fall? I'm still trying to, and then when it'll hit you in December or November when it's too late. You be like, man, I should have got that, when you have to go to the supermarket and spend $5-10 for the same thing for inferior stuff. That's what gets me. I get so mad when I have to buy like this bell peppers. I get furious at myself. I'm like, you know what? You could have grew enough where you wouldn't have to go out there and buy this stuff for how much is it now? 69 cents a bell pepper? It might be more. I haven't bought bell peppers in a while. But when I do have to buy them, I get angry. I got anger issues. I got gardener anger issues. Because I'm like, they're charging us way too much for this stuff. This right here, $4.99. That's in Texas. Texas is cheapest for fruit and vegetables. Beets are high in oxalate. Really? Oh, I like beets. You hitting all the things I like. Swiss chard, beets, spinach. Well, I guess there's a reason why. They say that tomatoes have some kind of thing in there that mess with your joints, but I still eat them. And then I found out that it's not everybody. It depends on who you are and what your makeup is. Everybody has different things that they can tolerate. I guess it's based on your genetics. Jamaica, I've been waiting to ask you, why do you plant everything together? Opposing rows. Because the bugs and the animals get confused, especially the bugs. I learned it. I forget what gardener did that. Someone was doing that, and he calls it a food forest, right? Last year I planted, for years I planted in rows, and I was fighting, and those are in rows, they just all mixed in together. Everything is mixed up. And the garden was in 3 places last year and the year before. And there were so many issues with them. The bugs were just eating everything down and attacking everything. And things like okra, the okra wasn't pollinating the same way as it is here, as it is this year. It seems like because I planted so densely and so diversely, I'm getting more yield every day. And y'all don't see me harvest everything because my freezers are full. And I'm canning stuff now because I don't have any more room in my freezers. Because everything is planted so densely, the bugs don't get to attack it as much. I put my beans over there in nice even rows. First of all, the weeds came up. No. First, I got a little harvest of contender beans, a little one. Then the rabbits or whatever, rats, mice, I don't know what ate it. Something ate them to a nub. And then the weeds took over there. I don't have to fight with weeds over there because there's no room for the weeds. They get shaded out. Most of the stuff in there, there's a few weeds in there, don't get me wrong. Very few though. But if you go to that other side where the traditional garden is, I've been fighting with those weeds and rabbits and ants and all kind of stuff on the traditional side. So from now on, I'm going to plant like that. I'm going to plant densely and I'm going to plant diversely because it confuses the bugs. Example, I had my kale in the pots over there. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I put out a video. And they were eating my kale down to nothing. So I put it next to the Scotch bonnets. And nothing is touching that kale anymore. Nothing. Because maybe they got a Scotch bonnet leaf and they didn't like the way it tasted. So they just assumed that all of it was Scotch bonnet. Another thing I did over there is that I had some zucchini, right? The squash bug was eating the zucchini. I planted it in 4 places, all the 4 corners. The only zucchini that survived was the one that was planted right next to the basil. And that's probably because they couldn't smell the zucchini because the basil overpowered the smell. There was basil and corn, and they attacked the corn though. The basil, corn, and sweet potatoes, all within a foot of each other. And that was the only one that did not get eaten up. As a matter of fact, it's still out there. Let's see. Serena Norell, what did the man say? Oh, a joke. All right. Sifting some soil says hello. Tony Holt says, where do you buy seeds from? Where did you buy the seed? I think it was from Etsy. It was either Etsy or eBay. One of them two. I didn't get it from Amazon. I think it was Etsy. And I got 2 packs of them. I double ordered them. And one of the pack of the seeds, because I planted 2 of them. I have a video on it where I said, well, I have 2 tree collard seeds. I'm going to plant one here and one here. Do you know one of the packs, nothing came up? It was no good. One, everything came up. The other one, nothing came up. So I can't vouch for these people. I don't know which one is, dead or bad seed. But one of them was bad seed and the other one came up. Tony Holt says, where did you buy the seeds from? The tree collards, Etsy. But I can't vouch for them because I told you, one came up, one pack, all of them came up because I put it in 2 different pots. And the other one, and I wish I had marked one blue and one red so I knew which one was viable and which one wasn't. Because now I got to plant it again and figure out which pack of seeds is no good. So I won't waste my time. So like 10 of them came up in 1 cup and none came up in another. I'm still watering it because I still, I don't want to give up. LP says, gonna head out. Take care, everybody. I enjoyed the chat. I hope all your seeds germinate well. Thank you, and you as well. I'm gonna get out of here also. I thank you guys so much for being with me. And we planted striped beans along with some cabbage. So this is a ongoing process of planting stuff. Don't be afraid. The beans are quick crops. So you can still plant them. Unless you're up north. Then I don't know. I'm down south. If you're down south, you still have time. I'm in zone 9A, by the way. So that counts for something. And then I planted these because I'm going to put these out September. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys so much for being with me. And I hope that you all get all your seeds in and everything goes way, way better than you expected. Y'all have a wonderful night. And I'll see you guys on the next one, all right? Bye.